It's time to get off your spiritual experience and be on the journey of self. This is journey to your true self. Steps to my true self. It is time to get off those spiritual experience. Stop looking for spiritual experience and be on the journey to your true self. Yes, wake up the sleeping self. You don't need no drugs, no nothing to get to that. All you have to do is to wake up the sleeping self. Castrate your ego and return to your truth. Yeah, awake from ignorance. Awake the sleeping self. Yeah, castrate the ego and awake from the dream. Come into the real so that your light can be seen. Your light is hidden, it's obscure, and this is the issue and the problem in the world. Stop putting the soul in slavery. You are exploring the illusion and you're on the false perception and you think that the illusion is real. You will never find the real exploring the illusion. You are only appeasing the ego and fulfilling the desires of the being who has captured your soul. You have made yourself into a slave and a servant to the desires and habits of the consciousness beings. The self is terrified of them. They've been having the self in slavery for ages. And now it's time for the liberation of the soul, the liberation of the self. It's time for you to liberate the self. Are you willing to do the work to liberate yourself, to advocate for your own self? Yeah, see alone advocating for this and advocating for that. But will you advocate for your soul? Everything in this world is illusion. This is a dream world, dream body, dream things. Dream body to explore this dream world. Dream things, dream creation. The only thing that is real is the self. Are you willing to liberate yourself from bondage, from slavery? This is the journey that each and every one of us must be on, to liberate the self. I tell you that you're in slavery and you say no, you're not in slavery. You're in bondage. Who speaks? The ego speaks. Every time you hear a thought, I want you to ask, from where does this thought arise? Who speaks? You have been exploring the world only in the ego. Ego has taken precedent over the self. Remember that. And now it's time for the self to awake and take precedent over the ego. You must castrate the ego so that you can awake from the dream and so that your light can be seen. Because your light is obscure right now behind the ego. And once you do that, the void comes between yourself and the mind. And now the mind is able to be balanced because now it's going to get light. Because the mind and the light, they are dual nature. And they are indivisible together. They're the twins, the mind and the light. And so they cannot exist without each other. And because the light is obscure behind the mind, this is the problem of the mental sickness in this world. And so it's time for you now to awake yourself up so that your light can shine, so that you can heal your mind. This is the only and true way to heal your mind. All the other things will pacify you and will give you some ease. But if you really want to heal your mind, then you have to wake up the sleeping self so that you can come into the real. And so the mind can be healed. Yes, because we are inside of a dream. We're inside a dream of consciousness. And the mind will only caught you in the loop of the imagination and in a memory. The mind does not know the truth of the self. So don't look into the mind to find the self. Y'all are going into these spiritual experiences. You can never find the self there. The self is never there. The self is here sleeping. The mind is only will loop you in imagination and memory. Anything that happened in the past, yeah, it keeps a record of it. Yeah, but it does not know the self. You have to wake up the sleeping self so you can come into the real and so you can heal and balance your mind. This is the true and only way to go. So I want to thank you for joining me. I am Primalite, prepared for the world where the identity are set. Daughter of the self-supreme primal light. I am the liberator and advocate for all souls. I bow to you in love, in light, and in truth.